The way people tend to view and discuss issues is often binary. Red versus blue, college educated or not, young or old, and here's a confession. We in the media don't help very much in this regard. But the truth is, when you look closely, there is a lot more gray than black and white. For example, here's how Americans define the word government to the American Communities Project. Listen.
Government is
structure,
corrupt,
order, rules,
corrupt.
It's the way that we as a society make rules.
Government is
taking care of people.
It provides structure for society.
Dante Chinni joins us now. He is the founder and director of the American Communities Project. Dante, great to see you. What is the American Communities Project, and what do you try to accomplish?
The American Communities Project is an effort based at Michigan State University where we basically took tons of data, reams and reams of data, and used it to break all the counties in the country into 15 different types of community, 15 different types of place. And with that, it's really a filter to look at any kind of data. Any kind of data you can get at the county level, you can put it through this filter and see it differently. The other thing is it gives you places to go to talk to people like we did in those videos and get a chance to ask them, how the world looks to them.
And one of the things you bring to the surface is the values in those communities and how we as Americans may value the same things but think about them differently, or think about them differently and value them the same way.
Right, yeah, or just value them really differently.
Right.
It's fascinating. I mean, look, the idea behind the project is really simple. Because everything's based on where people live. It's communities, right? It's geography.
So you start with geography.
Right. And when you do it that way, you realize that the way people see the world is really defined, well, it's defined by a lot of things, but it's defined by who they see every day. What are the issues where they live? The issues where you live when you walk out the door, what you see in the street when you talk to friends, they're different from place to place. They're different in Washington, D.C. than they are in rural Michigan or rural Ohio or some...
In their lived life, what
Yes.
they experience.
Their lived life, the way they experience the world, their reality is different.
And yet, as I was going through some of your data, what I saw was sometimes issues that were very high on their level of concerns were not things they were suffering from in their real life, in their lived life.
Super interesting. So one of the things we did in this survey is we asked them, what are the three biggest issues? We gave them a list. Are these issues, what are the three biggest issues in your community? And then same list, what are the three biggest issues in the country? And the fascinating thing was the things there were these issues in their communities, which really come from what they're seeing every day. And then the national issues looked radically different in some cases. So for instance, in these places we call evangelical hubs, there are not a lot of immigrants in those communities. So immigration does not rate very high. It was the fifth, it was fourth highest. But then nationally, the number jumped up to like 1/3 of the people in those communities said immigration's a massive problem here in the country. And that's not coming from what they see every day, right? Because it's not part of their experience. So they're getting it from someplace else. They're getting another view of the national experience that isn't part of their day-to-day experience.
And there's some things you raised that could be fairly described as hot button issues. I want to play some reactions that you got from your interactions with voters about the Second Amendment. Let's listen.
I wish we would throw it out.
Yes, you should be able to go ahead and defend yourself, but at the same token, I don't personally need a missile. I don't feel like I need that, but yes, I do have my, my conceal and carry.
I believe in the right to bear arms. I also believe in background checks so that people who may be mentally affected don't put themselves or other people in jeopardy.
Second Amendment.
Freedom of protection.
I think it needs to looked at again. I am a gun owner. However, it's purely for sport.
Can people watch these clips?
Yeah, they are available on our website, americancommunities.org, and you can go through all 25 words. We asked them everything: First Amendment, Second Amendment, liberal, conservative, Constitution, freedom, work.
Right.
Good questions, good words.
And what did you find about abortion?
So there was one of the most interesting things that I found in the survey was we asked people a series of statements: do you agree or disagree? And one was an abortion, the choice of abortion should be between a woman or a doctor with no government interference. And every community we went to, that got over 50%. And some of these communities are very conservative. Donald Trump won some of these places with 50, 60, close to 70% of the vote. And even in those communities, when you ask them this question, abortion, when you ask it that way, they're like, no, the government should butt out of abortion. We found that to be an absolutely shocking finding, actually.
And there was, back to guns and the Second Amendment, owning a gun or the right to own a gun central to the American experience
Yeah.
or what it means to be an American, 50% in your survey.
Yeah, 50% nationally. But then when you go into
Nationally.
those communities, some it's like much higher. It's 60%. It's 58%. And then you go to some urban places, it's down to less than a third. So it's we think it's important to do it this way because when you look at the national number, like you say, it's evenly divided, 50-50. When you take it down to these communities, it looks really different. So the way people view that question, that issue, at their individual level where they live, looks really, really different than what it looks like in the national figure.
I say this to some guests, but I will say it most genuinely to you. This conversation will be continued, and that is, ladies and gentlemen, a bit of a teaser because Dante will be my guest on the Takeout this week. So we will delve ever more deeply into this fascinating topic.